Here at Ear Scouts, we've made tons of videos about park strategy, about different festivals at Epcot, about international Disney parks around the world, and yet the video that we have had requested more than any other video, believe it or not, is a video about my ears. If you watch our videos, you may have noticed that I have a fairly sizable ear collection. I have a little bit of an ear problem. Some people love shoes and they have tons of shoes. For some people, it's bags and purses. For me, it's ears. I don't even know how many pairs of ears I have at this point. We're gonna try on every single pair of ears in the collection, and then when I edit this all together, that's when I'm gonna find out how many pairs of ears I have right now. Before we get into all that though, I do want to share some tips. There is one tip that is probably more important than any other, and this is one that I wish I'd known when I first started my ear collection, because it makes a really big difference in how comfortable the ears are going to be once you buy them. And that is, before you purchase your ears, you want to check this little spot right here. So basically, these tips at the ends of your ears, sometimes when the ears are made, fabric gets kind of bunched up right there in that tip. And that fabric is going to be putting pressure on your temples all day long. And trust me when I tell you, that can be a recipe for a massive headache, which is not what you want in the middle of your Disney World day. So the first thing I do when I buy a pair of ears now is I just sort of feel the tips, and I might try like 20 different pairs of ears before I find the one pair that has no bunched up fabric under there. And it makes all the difference in the world. It's a little bit of extra time when you're picking your pair of ears, but trust me, it is well worth it in the long run. The other thing that I want to share as a guy who wears ears, a lot of guys wear the ears with the bows and they look great. For me, I don't know. I just don't like how I look in bows. I'm not a big fan of ears with bows. There's a few pairs where the bow is just so cool that I feel like I have to keep the bow, but in most cases, I will snip the bow off. And for the longest time, I never thought to do that because I just assumed you were gonna mangle the ears in the process of trying to get the bow off. Turns out, it's actually pretty easy to get the bows off of almost every pair of ears I've ever encountered. All you gotta do is take a pair of scissors, you're gonna look for a little bit of thread that's in there. Once you snip that thread in one place, generally, the bow will just come right off, and then you just pull the rest of the thread out. There's going to be some little holes there from where the thread was, but guess what? They're on the top of your head, and no one is ever going to see them except for you. Now, of course, whenever I trim off the bows, I do keep them because I find that these are actually really great for wrapping Christmas presents or birthday presents. Some of these bows are really beautiful, and I'll even take pictures of some of the ones I really love, and when I'm at like a craft store like Michael's, I'll look for ribbon that'll match those bows so I can make a really special gift out of it. Another tip that I picked up along the way, and this is a big one, once you've got more than a dozen pair of ears, how do you store them? How do you keep them organized? I started out actually with these really cool ear organizers that I found on Amazon. They're really cheap. There's different manufacturers of them, but basically you just snap the loop around the ears and you can kind of display a strip of ears, just hang them from one little nail or tack, and voila, you've got storage for multiple sets of ears. For me, however, this pretty quickly became untenable too, because I had like 12 of these strips of ears and it still wasn't enough space. And that's when my friend Jen from Lost in a Wonderland shared her tip, because she is also an avid ear collector. And that was to get a curtain rod and to hang it above your closet. And as long as that rod is the proper distance from the wall, when you slot the ears in, they just kind of stay put. It does take a little bit of patience to get that spacing right, and I will admit sometimes when you pull out especially a heavy or clunky pair of ears, it can bring some ears down along with it. I still hang on to the strips because I do find that the ears that are really bulky don't go well with the curtain rod, so I'll hang all of my bulky ears on the strip and the rest will go on the curtain rods. So now let's talk about the ear collection itself. It all started actually when I was really little. I do remember One of my first souvenirs from Walt Disney World was one of those classic ear hats my parents got for me, or maybe it was my grandparents, and it had my nickname sewn into the back. It was Bobby, was what my family called me when I was little. So I had a classic pair of Mickey ears for kids with Bobby embroidered on the back. Those ears are long gone though, so I'm not going to count those in the collection because I don't still have them. But I did get a new ear hat when I first visited the parks as an adult. That was a kind of a baseball cap style hat. I didn't love this one though because the ears kept flopping down, and so before I went to the parks a second time as an adult, I ordered this pair of ears right here, the classic faux leather Mickey ears. And these were actually the first ears that I wore in a video that I appeared in for Ear Scouts. And it occurred to me, well, you know, if this channel is called Ear Scouts, you should have more than one pair of ears, right? So I went out and I got a second pair of ears for the next video. That really kickstarted things, and it's just been snowballing ever since. So as I said, I really have no idea how many pairs of ears I have, but this is the moment when we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna try on every single pair of ears that I own, and then we're gonna edit it all together and count them and find out how many pairs of ears are in the collection. One last note before we do the countdown, this was part of our 12 days of scouting surprises. I do want to thank everyone in our Patreon family for making this video and all of the videos that we do possible. It was so much fun sharing with all of you the 12 days of scouting surprises, and we're definitely going to be doing it again next year because it really was a blast. But without further ado, it is time for what we came here for, and that is to count all of the ears. Let's go do it. So those are the official Disney ears that are in the collection, but I do have a few things that I'm not sure if we can count them or not. The one that I feel like maybe should be countable are the customized headbands that you can do now at Disney World. They're like these little plushes that you can attach with Velcro straps to a basic headband base. And I think each set of these kind of constitutes its own set of ears. And finally, I do have some ears that are not Disney ears at all because I do also go to the Universal parks. Most of these I picked up at Epic Universe, but there's one special pair that I bought on Etsy. These are handmade, and because I love the worlds of Harry Potter so much, I was sad that they don't make Harry Potter ears, so I found these on Etsy. So if we're including all of the ears, we have this grand total if you want to include all of the Universal ears. Let me know in the comments, do you think the Universal ears count or not? But either way, I hope you enjoyed this peek at the current state of my ear collection. It's definitely going to continue to grow. and we will be showing off those future ears in future videos. Until then, I hope you all have a very happy new year. Happy 2026, everyone. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.